I'm now going to show you how to remove the belt cover. This will allow you access to the drive belt, the front bearing assembly, and the bottom bracket bearing assembly. You have 4 5mm hex bolts on the drive side, and then you have 3 screws on the non-drive side that you'll need to remove. I've already removed the screws on the non-drive side, so we're going to remove the screws on this side. It also helps as you're doing this to rotate the crank arm so that the right crank arm is about the 10 o'clock position. That way when you get the screws loose, it will allow you to remove the belt cover a little bit easier. And now you have access to the drivetrain area. I'm now going to show you how to remove the drive belt. To get the belt off, you need to loosen the idler bearing assembly. It's locked down with an 8mm shoulder bolt, and then the bolt comes up a 5mm that is your tensioner bolt. So we're going to loosen the shoulder bolt first. Just a half turn or so is all that's needed. And then we're going to loosen the 5mm tensioner bolt from the bottom. And the bolt does not need to come all the way off. Once the shoulder bolt is completely loose, then you can just remove the drive belt off both pulleys nice and easy. And also just be aware of where you place your fingers to make sure that you don't get your fingers pinched anywhere in the drive system. We're now going to reinstall the drive belt. Loop it over the pedal, underneath the tensioner bearings, over the front pulley. Come back to the main drive pulley. Hold the belt down, being careful where your fingers go, and then just gently turn, and it will ride the way back onto the pulley. Then we're going to adjust the tension of the belt. Again, the shoulder bolt is loose. You're adjusting the tensioner bolt. You can go ahead and tighten it down tight enough to where you have a decent amount of pressure on the belt. And then I'm going to jump on the bike and test the tension. So it's nice and snug right now. I'm going to hop on the bike. Just kind of rock back and forth on the pedals, and then give a quick thrust down. And you can see that the belt is still slipping pretty good. So I'm going to jump back off the bike and adjust the tensioner a couple of turns. Then hop back on and repeat the process. A little bit of slippage is okay, but you want to have it tight enough to where when you're riding the bike and you have a decent amount of resistance on the flywheel that the belt's not going to slip. So once you get the belt tension tight, tighten your shoulder bolt down, nice and snug, and then you're set. We're now going to reinstall the belt cover. Be sure that the crank arm is in about the 10 o'clock position. Place the belt cover over the crank arm. Line it up over both pulleys. And we're going to put the screws in, but leave them loose until we get all 4 screws in on the drive side here. And then we can go back through and tighten all the screws down. Just snug. They don't need to be overly tight. You don't want to crack the plastic belt cover. So once you've snugged the screws down on the right side, go back to the left side and then insert the screws and tighten the screws down on the left side.